Hey there. I'm making this stream now to pitch an idea. Something that I've thought of over the last day. And I've put it up to a stage where if it exists, if I can make it or if someone can make it, it will be a world first. At least to my knowledge, anyway. I've done some research, it doesn't seem to exist anywhere. So, how many of you have played Super Mario Maker? If you haven't, I'll explain what that is. So, if you've ever played the Mario series, which I don't know how you haven't, you're disgusting. It's a game where you can make your own levels. You can make a game in a game. It's great, isn't it? What I'm about to show you derives from the same idea. You know how Undertale games are made in Click Team Fusion? They're made in Godot, they're made in Scratch, they're made in whatever engines people use nowadays, Game Maker even. What if I were to tell you that this new idea would bring new fan games to light without any coding knowledge required? So, I made this. This is the concept of something called Undermaker. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why? Why make this? Well, there are several reasons why hang on, let me scale this up a bit. Okay. Let me explain how this would work. For this, I'm going to go ahead and look at some other games as well. Which means we're going to load up Osu. Because that's the best explanation thing that I can give that's relevant to this project.
Click the circles.
Right, Osu. If it will bother loading, Jesus. Ah, it's below everything. Right, just for the record, I'm not going to play Osu, okay? Now's not the time to do that.
Click.
What I will show you, though, is... Oh, hang on. Yeah, let's... So if I go into a map in the editor mode, you can see that there's a whole bunch of different things. You can add circles, you can add sliders, and you can add spinners. Now, the ins and outs of that are not exactly important, but what I'm about to explain to you is, so down here, or up here rather, up here where I'm drawing a select screen, there's something called a timeline. And on this timeline, you can see where your objects are placed on the exact same time. So if I play this section back, you can see it being played back in real time as the editor keeps going. So what can we learn from this? Well, Undermaker has that almost exact same thing. Hang on, let me exit out of Osu so I can show you exactly what I've got planned for this. So what Undermaker does is... Let me go over this real quick. This is just a concept, by the way. It's not real. Yet. So, up here you have the timeline. It's actually labelled here. It's called timeline. And there'll be a button here where you could press play and then pause it. This... Instead of being measured by time, it's measured by frames. So here on frame 0, we have what appears to be a blue soul and a right arrow. I'll explain what that means in a minute. And this is measured by every frames per second. So Undertale usually runs at 30 frames per second. Here, you can go frame by frame. Each marker represents 3 frames, by the way. And you can add anything at any time. So you can add wall slams, you can add bone walls, you can even add gaster blasters. any attack in Undertale can be added to this timeline. And depending on where you put the end marker at, that's when the attack will end. And that's even explained over here in the events tab, which will show you exactly what you've got and where. So at the 300th frame, or about 10 seconds, the attack will just end straight outright. Here in bullets, you can select different bullets of different kinds, or different events. So here you can slam the blue soul in any direction, if you so choose. You can add a bone wall on top of that, which would then be telegraphed here by, let's say, a red outline box. The hell? Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. So yeah, it'd be telegraphed by something like this, and you can customize it however you like. So let's say the wall slam point originates here on the right side of the board. You can customize it to whatever height you choose. So if you want to make a get dunked on attack, you just draw one just outside here, just like that. And there'd also be the option to disable it or not. You know, when you spare sands, that if you spare sands, there's no telegraphing. It just pops up the bones and it just kills you outright. You can do that with anything you choose. So if you want to have like a Gaster Blaster appear at like the very last frame, you can do that. If you want the bone wall to last forever, you can do that. It's even said here, so it says like height 30, and the Gaster Blaster, I meaning interval, how long until it fires, 40 frames or about 1.3 seconds, and timer, how long it lasts until it dies, 1 second. And here is just the offset relative to the soul position, so 50 by 50 along the corridor and down the stairs. So, what's next? What about things like bones and things? Well, that's where this comes in. I haven't thought about how you're going to make bone floors yet, like those emitters. But what plan I have is to have some sort of dummy object here, like a bone collection icon or something, and you can tell it how many bones you want it to emit, or how long until it stops emitting. So you can set it at like frame 27 and it won't stop until frame 57. That's just a concept. I haven't thought that exactly yet. Singular bones on their own have a very different approach. So here you have a bone that's 100 pixels in size, counting the top and the bottom part. And it moves along the horizontal axis with a speed of 3. The direction is determined by this arrow, and you can edit it to whatever you like. You can edit the length, you can edit the spin rate, you can edit the speed of it, you can edit the direction of it, and you can even change its color. So blue and orange bones would work, green bones would work. You can even customize the behavior if you want to. But that will be something we're going to touch up on a bit later. Now, I know that some people have said, well, if we want to make our own attacks, well, that's no problem, because these fields down here are what do exactly that. See, up here you have the save and load icons. And down here you have the start X and the start Y relative to the center of the bullet board. So this is 0, 0, and down here will be like 50, 50. For a very nasty audience. And the attack number will be defined down here. So it depends on what fight you want to create. So this would be the 4th attack in the sequence, and you can actually view your attacks by going to load and then an attack tab somewhere around here, and you can edit them freely however you wish. Right, now let me catch up on chat real quick. Well, if we wanted to add custom attacks though, what do you mean custom attacks? Do you mean like custom sprites? Well, I'm glad you asked, Crispy, because Undermaker, eventually, if it's made, will have custom sprite support. However, hitboxes will be indeterminate, because I haven't thought of a way yet that could work. It could possibly work like Creative Frisk, where it's just like a very small hitbox inside the sprite. But again, I haven't thought of that too much. Can you overlap stuff? Yes, you can. So up here on the timeline, say you have the blue soul here. If you want to add something on top of that, you can do. And you can even erase it by pressing the delete button or something. So if you want to have a bone wall on top of the bone slam, you can do that very easily. So this opens up all kinds of possibilities for different attacks, as it were. Could you possibly have varying speed? Yes. Soul speed will also be a parameter as well. As I know that Deltarune, if you play the Jevil fight, if you notice in the second ring around attack, your soul moves a little bit faster than normal. You're not tripping. That's actually the case. You are actually moving faster than normal in that attack. So you can set the soul speed for that attack, and you can set it midway if you so want to. Like, say, at frame 30, you want to have like a soul speed of 4, whereas normally it would be like 2. Does anyone else have any questions about this? You mean attacks with varying speeds during their movement, aka accelerating bones? Ah, yes. I did not think of that. I guess a friction variable could suffice. So, like, say, friction 0.1. Well, actually, no. Say AR, acceleration rate. What is this? Hang on. Can you overlap attacks? The plan with this would be to only make a single attack at any given time. So, no. Unless you're talking about different attack styles, like bone walls, blasters, blink-ins, blink-outs, etc. That is possible. You can do that. Now, I know that some of you will be asking this very same question, and I'm probably sure that lots of you are thinking about it right now. Why make this? Well, I have thought while writing episode 1 for my updated How to Make an Undertale fan game tutorial, not everyone is going to want to learn how to code, and no one's going to want to download any software. So, why not make it a game that you can download and make something in it? It's kind of like, you know, how OSU works with the editor, or how Super Mario Maker works. Yeah, exactly. Super Mario Maker and Undertale both form to make Undermaker. And it gets even better. It's not just battles. You can also make your very own overworld segments and cutscenes with dialogue. It's a full Undertale creator inside of an Undertale fan game. Anyway, will you be able to export the files to share them all with this Fangame Hammer server? I know nothing about file sharing servers, so unfortunately that's... If someone else makes this, that's their problem. But I would not be able to do that. That's so you know. But one thing I do have planned is that once your entire battle, or make it so it where it's finished, you can export it as a singular file. Now, I know that some of you probably already know this, but I used to help with a fan game called Tetris Funkin'. That was Harry LTS's project. I learned how to make multiple folder organization and saving system in that. In fact, let me show you that really quickly. Let me show you how that would have worked. If GameMaker decides to stop being an asshole. Me is bored, hey Ratch. I was talking about my my world first idea, Undermaker. Well, I wouldn't call it a world first in general. I'm just calling it that because I've never seen an Undertale fan game that does this. Where'd that go? It's really hard. Why is her behind this? Yeah, those two Tetris Funkin'. For God's sake. Pardon me, guys. Anyway. So, let me go to free play, for example, and choose like 8-bit Voyager or something. Now, this is where I learned how to make an editor of some kind. That's where the save and load icons and the plus sign appear from. So here you have the timeline, you have the beat snap, you have the note count, you have all of these icons all over the place. I learned all of this thanks to Harry LTS's inspiration to help with that project. I don't know if he's still doing it now. It's probably cancelled, and I'm not going to give out the source code for this or anything, because I don't want him to come after me. But you get the basic idea. So here you can edit... hang on. Why can't I add anything? Oh, whoops, I crashed it. Oh, well, that's fine. But yeah, so you can place things wherever you like, whenever you want. And that's basically what Undermaker is aiming to do. As well as an overworld level editor. So you have like the sprawling pads. No, not the sprawling pads. The air vents. You have doors. You have interactive NPCs. Though that is more complicated stuff, and I'm probably not going to do that just as soon as this battle part is finished. If someone else makes it, that's their problem, like I said. So, how hype is Undermaker? I only thought of this idea like early this morning. And I've put some hours into making a plan in my editing software, Medibang Paint Pro, a little concept, as it were, of what a potential Undertale creator is good enough for. It's possible. It is absolutely possible to make something like this, and not only would it be a big quality of life improvement for Undertale fan game development, but it would save so many hours from people who just want to make their own Undertale fan game. So, how do we feel about something like this? Would you want to see something like this in real action? Bear in mind, this would be far easier than using Creative Frisk. It would be far easier than using Scratch. and I'm not saying that with biased opinion. This would be one of the easiest fan game creators to learn. You'd rather make an Undertale fan game from scratch than this? Then be prepared for the sudden loads of hours that you would spend trying to make it on your own. I hate to poop on the party, but that's what this is aiming to circumvent. This would be one of the easiest Undertale engines to use. To make is another story. An understory, if you were. I'm trying to come up with a better title, I promise. But I've been wanting to share this idea with you all because I am super, super hype about it. This is gonna be amazing. You have no idea how happy I feel to have an idea like this. This is like the first original idea I have ever come up with since 2019. And that's only what I can get out of my head. Like, learning to code isn't hard, it's tedious, and not everyone wants to do that. They just want to skip straight to the point. They want to make something right there, right now. Undermaker can change that. The world's first Undertale engine with no coding knowledge required. Unless, of course, you want to customize it extensively. So, like, you want custom border sizes, you want custom soul types. Those are just for the expert side of things. Oh yeah, and did I mention? This will have mod support. If something like this gets made, if I make Undermaker and it turns out that it works perfectly, I'm going to release the source code online so that you could download this and tinker with it as much as you like. However, be prepared for the insane amount of code that you would have to deal with. Because this is not just going to come up out of nowhere. Someone's got to make it. And I'm going to aim to make this. That is my summer project. While I have nothing to do, and I don't want to add to my collection of things, and I don't want to play anything else, and I hit a roadblock with like Unified or something, Undermaker is going to become a reality. I talked with an IRL friend about this, and he wishes he could make his own battle. I'm making his dream come true by pitching this idea to the world. With that said, however, I do not want to be responsible that this is just an idea. I don't care if I can't make it first. I don't care. But what I do care about is if someone else makes this, they should at least give credit to the idea that I came up with. Using this one image alone. Hey Q7, how are you doing? Oh, and I forgot some words I was going to say in the beginning. Guys, we may be on the verge of an Undertale fangame revolution. That revolution is this. Undermaker. I only just wanted to stream to show you this. I'm going to go have dinner now. But as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to start bringing this to life. And I promise I won't let you down. Thank you for watching.